Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Populist Politics. My name is Bobby Funk. On this show, we are unapologetically right-wing conservative. That's just my new motto for the show, in case you're wondering why I just spit out that motto. I thought about it the other day, and I was like, what can I differentiate myself in my podcast? And it just came to me. Being unapologetically right wing. It's definitely something I strive for, and I will bring forth in this show. We got a lot to discuss tonight. There's two big stories that are going on in American politics. We have this Saudi Arabia nuclear deal, and we also have this House bill that seeks to integrate the U.S. and Israel military together. Kind of scary. Some people are freaking out more than others, and I think that some people are overreacting on how much this is treason. And when I say that it is definitely degrading our sovereignty. I'll give them that. But I think these Congress people don't know what they're doing. They don't know that they're selling out our sovereignty to the Israelis. They genuinely, in their minds, it may be twisted, but they believe that it is in the United States' best interest for Israel and the United States to have a more interconnected military. It's not a conscious treason. I would equate it to treason, but they don't know what they're doing. But anyways, we'll get to that later. That's our second story. What I want to talk about first is this Saudi thing. Now, I think this is going over everybody's heads here. So Trump announces that he is making a deal with Saudi Arabia to give them centrifuges. And this is a future deal. So think about the timing. Why would he announce this deal when they haven't surveyed the sites? They said they're going to surveil the sites to make sure it's feasible for both countries, it's economically feasible. I think announcing this beforehand has nothing to do with the economic elements of this deal. What it has to do with is geopolitics. As we know, we are in a war with Iran right now. And the central issue behind this war is nuclear energy. So Saudi Arabia does not have centrifuges. They make their energy on their oil and by importing other energy for electricity and stuff like that. So to give Saudi centrifuges is going to signal to Iran that, okay, if Saudi Arabia has centrifuges, then they can have the possibility of making a nuclear weapon. So this puts pressure on Iran. It incentivizes them actually to build the bomb now. Because they can't allow Saudi, their neighbor and one of their biggest enemies besides Israel, to have a nuclear weapon. So Iran's going to be pressured by this. Saudi wants a nuclear weapon because Iran already centrifuges, and they have what is called a nuclear hedge. They have 60% enriched uranium already, and it would take small practical steps for them to acquire the 90% necessary to actually have a bomb. So Saudi says that if Iran has these capabilities, we want them. So it's in Saudi's best interest to have this. So let's look at this in a United States perspective. So the United States doesn't genuinely want people to have the ability to make nuclear weapons. But they know that Iran's going to be threatened by Saudi having these centrifuges. And why would Trump announce this during the height of this war, when this could be years away from happening? Because he wants to pressure the Iranian regime as a part of these negotiations. And what he's doing brilliantly is now he's tying this to the Abraham Accords. So now Saudi is going to be pushed towards Israel and the United States and away from Iran. And Iran's going to feel that pressure. Saudi probably isn't going to sign the Abraham Accords because they have a unique relationship with the United States. They're going closer to the United States, but the Palestinian question has always prevented us from being main allies in the region, because Saudi supports a Palestinian state, and Israel, we know, doesn't support a Palestinian state. And if Saudi signs this agreement, then they would be neglecting the Palestinians. But is Saudi willing to do this, to threaten Iran and get the nuclear hedge that is necessary to protect themselves from Iran? Because do you think that the Houthi rebels would be attacking their shipping in the Red Sea? Do you think the Houthi rebels and Iran in general would attack Saudi Arabia again if they acquired a nuclear weapon? Because we all know that nuclear weapons are the absolute deterrence from other countries attacking you. Because there's a reason the United States does not attack North Korea. North Korea treats their citizens so bad, but we would never in a million years attack them because they have nuclear weapons. So all these countries in this region want nuclear weapons for that reason. That is the main aspects of each country's interest in this potential Saudi deal. Now let's shift our focus here to the Israel-United States integration bill. So the House passes this bill that is the annual military budget act. So every year the House and the Senate pass a bill so the military can get its funding for the year. And what they put into this House bill, it's called Section 217, where it has a executive agent that is going to oversee the technology and military sharing of Israel and the United States. And it has elements of sharing intelligence, sharing artificial intelligence, to be specific. And this threatens and makes Israel capable of seeing our classified documents. They arguably already do that. They espionage against us. And the United States probably does the same. But what this does is puts it on paper that the military technology is shared, the intelligence is shared. Let's read an article about that. So here's exactly what is going to be integrated. So Section 219, this is from military.com. Section 219 would direct the Defense Secretary to designate a Pentagon executive agent to oversee the United States-Israel Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative. The official would coordinate a bilateral defense research, development, testing, evaluation, and industrial cooperation. The initiative would cover drone systems, missile and air defense, artificial intelligence, quantum technology, autonomous systems, directed energy weapons, advanced sensors, cybersecurity, electronic warfare, and medical defense. It also provides joint testing, production, procurement, supply chain coordination networks. So there's a lot there, and a lot of it we already do. But what scares me personally is artificial intelligence, advanced cybersecurity, electronic warfare. So these types of technology can be abused by the other country. They can spy on us. They can know what we're up to. But again, they already arguably do that. But this puts it on paper, and this makes all of our technology one in the same, and it's very threatening to our national sovereignty. We should have our own military, and Israel should not have our intelligence. They should not have our military planning. Because what if in the near future or the distant future, we go to war with Israel? Because there's a lot of anti-Israel sentiments. They influence our elections. They influence our Congress. Hence why 50 Republicans and I don't know exactly how many, but a lot of Congress people voted to integrate our government, our military with Israel. So what is to say that AIPAC isn't going to bribe these congressmen even further if they're together and they know our secrets of what our government is doing and whatnot. So this is very threatening to our sovereignty. And it's a scary thing, I think, that I hope the Senate rejects. They're going to have a vote, and this is far from being passed. But the fact that the House passed it, that these congressmen thought that that was a good idea. Like I said earlier, I think they aren't conscious about this betrayal of the American people. They actually think that this is in our best interests because we do some of this stuff. We cooperate with them on missile defense systems, and we're doing that right now with them through the war. So it's not far-fetched that they would think that we need to integrate everything with them. But it's going to be abused by them. And we can't let them have our intelligence specifically. It is not in our best interest to do this, and I hope Bernie Sanders and all the Democrats, because let's be for real, this is the Republicans that are doing this, and we need Republicans, common sense Republicans, and Democrats that are against integration and betrayal to stand up for our country and deny this bill.